right. Welcome everybody to another episode of Hel Talk. The last episode, full disclosure, that Miguel and I recorded was recorded actually a few days ago. The original plan was to follow up with him, as we said, to talk about a specific situation, game scenario that occurred at Origins. But we have somebody else to talk about it with. We have Chef, aka Matt Prignano, one of the Flying Prignanos, and I mean this purely in jest. We're gonna call him aka the Tormentor. Is that what we're gonna?
You know it.
Okay, so again, just purely as a joke, folks. But again, I wanted to go over more in detail about a situation that happened in Origins, and Chef doesn't know anything about it. So
No clue.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to describe this situation to you and say pretend that you are the head judge and see how you would rule it. And again, I'm going to let's see if I can basically explain the situation without using any names or anything like that. So, in full disclosure, this decision was not the final decision of wasn't made by me. It was made by the head judge at the event. So this isn't, we're not trying to like exactly point fingers at anybody, but head judge has final say in all decisions, and it's kind of like you can't argue with it. So with that said, here's the situation. So, all right, Chef. So you're a judge at Origins, and the round last action was just called, and several players and everything are typing in their scores and they're adding up, seeing what they got, seeing who won. Another WizKids employee who's not a judge, but another WizKids employee who's not comes up to you and says, "Hey, I think you should double check the score of this game over here. I think that somebody is scoring something that they shouldn't be scoring. So, but they're not a judge, so they don't want to step in and be the one saying it, but they're asking you to go look. So you go over and look, and you ask the players, hey, what happened in this game? One of the players turns to you and says, I lost. And then so you go, okay, well, what happened? Oh, well, he scored, this, I got this, I scored these things, and then he scored this much. And you ask, well, how did your opponent score this much? Because at the end of the game state, again, the round just ended. So at the end of the game state, they still have pieces on the map. And you notice like there's a lot of them still on the map. So you're like, how did they score this much? And they go, oh, well, they scored, this little dude over here, a couple of one shots, and they also scored Black Flash. And Black Flash was not on the main force. Black Flash came from the sideline. So when Black Flash enters the game through the sideline mechanic, he is not scored when KO'd. So you bring this up and you say Black Flash is not scored. And because of this, the result that they already put in is reversed. The guy goes, oh, well, then instead of losing, I win. And the other player, of course, who just thought he won the game and now realizes he lost the game, goes, wait a minute. That's not fair, because during the game, I asked my opponent, do I score Black Flash when I KO him? And they told me, yes, I do. So you ask for more details about the specifics of the situation. The player with the Black Flash doesn't deny that they said yes, but they say that was an accident. They shouldn't have said yes. And you you ask about whether or not a judge was called, and they did not call a judge for that question. Then you ask whether or not any players actually read the card of Black Flash. Granted, Black Flash did receive an errata, but the part about him not being scored wasn't part of that errata, so that is an accurate piece of information on the card. And you asked if any of the players read the card. The player who thought that he scored Black Flash said that yes, he had the card in his hand. So it wasn't as if his opponent prevented him in some way of trying to get this information. He said, I had the card in my hand, but then I asked him, instead of reading the card, he goes, I asked him, whether or not he was scored. And he just said yes. So he goes, oh, okay. So that is kind of sort of all of the important information going into it. But the decision at the end of the day is, do you allow the player to score Black Flash, or do you say no, Black Flash isn't scored? And if you have any other questions that I may have left out some other information, but if you have any other questions about specifics, I can answer them if I know them.
I mean, without me knowing everything that went on in the game, just saying that I would say no, you don't score the Black Flash. If we're going off just like simple rulings, like you can't score him, it says on his card he's not scored. Therefore, you should not be able to score him. I mean,
And then,
I feel like the other. Go ahead.
No, I was saying the player would then say to that, he would say, well, during the game, I made game decisions, and we both made game decisions under the assumption that he was scored. Like he's like, I thought I was up in points, so I retreated my team away. He goes, if I knew that I was down in points, then I wouldn't have done that, and the game would be completely different.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the whole time though, the player could have known that he didn't score it, and then just going off of what the guy said. Oh yeah, you score him when he's KO'd. And even though he knows he can't score it because, like you said, he had the card in his hand and he might have read it, the fact that this other person says, yeah, he scored, well, then that might have, you're right, that might have changed how he played, but it's not how the game should have been played, so I feel like that shouldn't matter.
Right. So
If that makes sense.
At the end of the day, the judge ruled the same way you did, and said, that yes, because the information wasn't hidden from the player, and it's not as if his opponent, what I want to say, intentionally misled him.
Right,
Because
just claiming ignorance kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was an accident on both players' parts, in the sense that if the goal of his opponent was to say, like, oh, in the moment, I'm going to tell him that, yes, Black Flash is scored. But, however, when the game ends, oh, ho, 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 I'm going to pull a gotcha and then go, oops, actually, he's not scored, so I win.
I didn't think of it that way either, though. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. But it's important to note that that's not what happened, because when I had already approached the table, they had already input the scores, and the other player said, I lost.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, and it wasn't another player that was coming up to me like a friend of a player going, ooh, like, let me, let's work together on this. It wasn't anything of that nature. It was an unbiased other, like I said, other WizKids employee who was not even a judge. He just was walking by at the time and was like, hey, I think you should just double check their scores that they're entering, because it just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
So again, so the argument of like, well, was one player, like I said, trying to cheat basically, and I don't think that's the case. So the end result, like I said, was that so I explained, what I would rule, but I said, hey, this is a pretty important ruling. So let's appeal it to the head judge. Let's just go straight there. And
Mm-hmm.
then the head judge got all the information and said the same thing. It was, yeah, I can't give you points that you didn't score. And um and then, and it's not as if your opponent intentionally, you know, gave you wrong information because of how it was discovered. Again, it wasn't as if the player was calling us over afterwards and going, "Hey, I actually forgot that he wasn't scored," and like that. If that was the case, I think then yeah, it would change the whole situation. But the fact, like I said, that they already put in the scores and we're like, "Yep, I lost," and then I was
I
like,
just
"Oh,
put in
let's."
like just putting us in their shoes. I feel like if that happened to us, and like say I thought you beat me because I thought you scored Black Flash, and that similar situation happened to us, I don't think either one of us would be mad about that ruling. It was like, oh yeah, shit, we didn't realize, like
Yeah, but like I said, it's frustrating regardless to lose a game that way, and I can I can understand that. Um, but yeah, and then afterwards, I thought it was fair as well to warn the player who accidentally made the claim that Black Flash has scored. I said, hey, if you say that again, then that's intentionally cheating and you're disqualified. And
right.
he was absolutely on board. He's like, yep, not won't make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
So so yeah, so it was an interesting, like I said, it was just an interesting situation that came up. And the I think the other reason why it was so frustrating for the player who lost that game was because the game occurred in Top Cut.
Damn.
So yeah, it was like, wow, what a way to be kicked out of the event, or not kicked out, but what a way to be eliminated from
Yeah, but I
the
feel
single
like in
elimination.
Top Cut, you gotta know things like that though too. Like I don't know, you gotta be aware. Like I bet a lot of people are
I
playing
agree with
Black
you.
Flash. You should probably know that.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Jeff. I think if you're in Top Cut, you should already at least have a rough idea. You've played so many games, you're going to tell me that you didn't have an idea how Black Flash is not scored. Like the only, I mean, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on that. I get
Right.
it. People just
At the
fucking
very
think,
least, it's your sixth game, right? In Top Cut, you played at least 5 rounds of Swiss. Like
or,
you, this is your
or
sixth game at least, at the minimum.
I
You
think it
should know
was
that.
yeah,
seventh game because I think
Yeah.
they
yeah, it was
did
a seven
six. I
game.
think they did
Yeah,
six rounds of
it was,
Swiss.
yeah, it was six
At
rounds of
least
split.
it was at least the seventh game.
Yeah. So you played 7 games and didn't know this the entire time. Like, I kind of find that hard to believe too. But who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
Black Flash didn't come in the other games. I mean, who's to know?
yeah,
That's
and
why.
to be fair, I don't believe that the player who ended up losing that game, I don't think they were using Black Flash on their team.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they were like, oh, I have my own right here that's sitting in front of me. But yeah, I do get the points that you're making of like, are you telling me that you didn't face any the past 6 rounds? But maybe like you said, Chef, maybe it was just like, yeah, I totally did, but none of them ever entered the map. So
Right.
there's
Yeah.
definitely
I
that
don't know.
possibility.
We need to just stop making free shit on the sidelines that could just come in the game. And
Yeah, I actually 100% agree with that. I think the idea of something entering the game and then it not being scored is kind of it's
right,
kind
there's
of, I don't
no
know, to me it's a
zero
little
risk.
bit little bit cheesy in the sense that I get the downside of Black Flash coming into the game is that if he is KO'd, you lose access to the trait
Right.
of things. But it's and I was talking to actually a couple other players about the design of Black Flash, where it's bringing in Black Flash from the sidelines should feel like a reward, but it actually feels like a punishment.
Right.
of like, oh, sorry, you KO'd somebody with the extra bonus damage. So now you give your opponent a chance to remove this ability from the game entirely. But
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
like 90% of the time you don't want Black Flash to come in the game, probably. Like, yeah.
no, exactly, because you're like, I'd rather have him stay up on the sideline and just do extra damage.
Mhm.
It just feels like some of these figures are like SOV, where like you get free Packers, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think like some of this stuff is getting ridiculous. So I'm just saying sideline in general is just ridiculous.
It is. It's really it's the main reason I'm like not wanting to play this game as much as I used to.
No, I feel you. I feel like I'm looking forward more to the Silver Surfer, which I don't know. Again, it's like it feels like. I mean, I don't know. Matt, you probably have a better opinion than I do, but like, does this Silver Surfer feel like a really good Silver Surfer? That's not like a variant of like of something else, like for example, like Carnage Silver Surfer. Like, what do you think?
I think that the Silver Surfer is a great representation of what what the Silver Surfer can do. I mean, you could argue that, yeah, would it be great if he had his so this is Ultra Chase Silver Surfer for those that are unaware, but that's coming out in the 25th anniversary set of Marvel. Hero clicks his click 4, 5, and 6, like those stats. It's like, would it be awesome if he started with those stats? Yeah, probably. But then he'd probably be a little bit more points than he is. But he does insanely good things that no other character does, and being the one that probably anyone is ever going to play him for is the first choice that you can make on his trait. So it's at the beginning of the turn, you choose an effect that he can use until your next turn. And again, every turn you're probably going to pick this, but the first choice is it just says game elements on an opponent's sideline can't use sideline active effects. So this pretty much gets rid of everything except avatars, when it's really pretty much like Animal Man and other stuff. But we have a good. I don't want to say good. We have a chance that Animal Man and the like are all going to rotate out of Modern Age before this Silver Surfer is released. So pretty much he might get rid of everything, depending on whether or not they decide to release other avatars that have duration, that assign things during force construction, then have durations of this game. So it'll be interesting regardless. But as Miguel and Chef pointed out, it's Chef's dream piece because it effectively just says, yeah, all your one shots, no, you're never going to be able to use them, and and he does quite a few other things. I mean, he is the best defend piece in the game. He is the best support piece. When I say support, I mean the actual power support in the game. But you could also argue that he's just the best support character in the game as well, even though he has 100 points, because he does have Outwit and Perplex. Like I said, and he has 6 range defend, 6 range support, 3 stop clicks. It's like I said, pretty nasty. So
All right, you don't need line of fire either. It's just anyone within range.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good part about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it solves, I think, one of the issues that typical defend teams have, which is that the entire team is in one spot. So it's very susceptible to things like pulse wave and energy explosion and other attacks that just multi-target like that. So if you are able to you can effectively, if with a 6 range defend, you can have 2 characters that are 13 squares away from each other, and both getting the defend bonus from
Mhm.
Silver Surfer. So they're effectively, those 2 characters on any traditional map are not going to both be able to be targeted, by the same attack.
Well,
So
also you can pick the friendly characters within range of Safeguard Pulse Wave. That's one of the other choices.
yes, that's the other thing too. If you are not worried about their sideline active effects anymore, you can just switch and say, "Yep, friendly characters within range of Safeguard Pulse Wave." So that's absolutely true. But yeah, it's like I said, things. He's got really good choices. Obviously, his third choice of just once per turn, he can re-roll any roll. Probably not the best best choice compared to the 3. But yeah, if your opponent has nothing on their sideline and no characters that can use Pulse Wave, then I guess, yeah, that's the choice you're making. But usually
Yeah,
everybody has something on their sideline.
it's a very flexible piece that gives you options, right? And like if you know like the meta or where it's going to, it gives you that flexibility. I guess like the price range for that figure because he's unique, right? I don't think you'd be like 2, so he's I
Yeah, he's
feel he's in
unique.
like I think he's gonna be like the $200 range because he's an ultra chase. He's probably gonna sit there for a hot minute. That's just what I think. I mean, the release is probably gonna be 400. We were gonna try to get the money's worth, but I think he'll settle at 2.
Yeah, with the amount of stuff that they're releasing, especially, like we know from for the sideline specifically, I don't see any world where he doesn't at least become considered, to be used. Obviously, Chair Panther is an insanely strong piece for that. Good again, he's only 30 points, but
I
this
like
guy,
him with well, I like that Silver Surfer with again, right? Like I don't know, that's just me though. I think that having a 19 defend and then like whatever. I mean, I think what the Smash and Destroy might rotate out this, and I think it is rotating, right? Smash and Destroy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after Worlds should be.
so you can't just give him you can't give him Destroyer armor. It'd be at that 22 defense.
all right, yeah, and I mean, but like I said, we have we obviously have the entire Gotham set. I mean, we know what's coming out in it. But we have the entire Gotham set. We have the entire Thunderbolt set. We have the entire D&D Series 1 set. And then we have the set that the Silver Surfer is going to come out in. So we are a ways away from that, but I still believe that regardless of what comes out in any of those sets, that because we've uh, we've already been confirmed that those sets will either have one shots or other sideline active stuff. Like I said, I think just Silver Surfer is a great way to say, hey, those 6 things that you have on your sideline? Well, I'm glad you brought them with you, but you're not going to need to bring them out right now.
Well, I like
And
the fact that I was gonna say I like the fact that he's gonna play a fact I think with Thunderbolts because I think that one chase Citizen V is like the old Future Found no, yeah, the old Future Foundation chases. So that might play a factor with that Silver Surfer does become like, hey, this is what the product to play anyway. So, which I never liked the Future Foundation chases anyway. I mean, the only good one was what DJ Doom. That's it. But I don't know.
yeah, funny story, Chef, that I also wanted to share about Origins. So a couple of players and I were talking about jokingly in the sense of like, oh, if you won worlds, what piece would you make, right? Blah blah blah. And somebody, yeah, there's some things that we were saying that were funny. One and both, I was telling people, I said, hey, look, since the Dungeons and Dragons set is going to be a real thing, so they're gonna have Dungeons and Dragons characters in it, and I said I would make the character the Mind Goblin, and Ian, the new organized play manager or whatever you want to call him, I assumed he knew the joke already. I assumed that he knew the Mind Goblin joke, but he didn't, and he just went, "What's a Mind Goblin?" And then both like your brother and Logan would just started busting up laughing, and Ian's standing there like, "What are they what are they laughing about?" And yeah, I'm like, so yeah, so I had to tell him, I had to say I had to say I had to tell him what a Mind Goblin was, and then he was like, "Oh, I can't believe I haven't heard that one before." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm surprised." But yeah, as soon as he said it, Logan just started pointing at him. He goes, "You said it, you said it." And it's like, "What? What did I do?" Like,
Logan died of laughter. It was funny as shit. It was very funny.
yeah. And then there was a couple guys close by the HeroClix table, and they were playing this football card game. And I had asked him about it, and one of the players was actually the creator of the game. And he said it was called Blue 52. And then we were joking about like football teams and things like that. And then Ian was like, "Oh, Ultra Chase OJ Simpson." It's like, just we were
Aaron
just done
Hernandez.
on that. Yes. Yeah, we were saying that. Are you
So it's
familiar
all
with
iconic.
Yeah, are you familiar with the character Overdrive from that makes the charged up bystander?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like similar thing. It's like it's a vehicle. So we're like, well, OJ Simpson
A
obviously
Bronco.
has to make the Ford Bronco. Yeah, he can pilot the Ford Bronco. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
oh yeah, and he's like, yeah, if we and like Miguel was saying, like if we make it in Iconics, then he's like, oh, we definitely got space on there to put Robert Kardashian. That's
On the defense team, Johnny
yeah,
Cochran.
yeah. Oh man,
The
that
glove, the
was good.
glove equipment.
Yes, right. And the glove equipment can't be equipped to OJ Simpson. You can't
It
because
don't
it
fit.
doesn't. It don't fit.
Oh, it's
Uh,
great. Sign me up. I'll buy one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, but I don't know what. Let's see. I'm just going through other things that have been announced to release. Uh, let's see. I mean, I don't know how much you've been looking at the Fight for Gotham set. Are you? Because I think it's all been revealed, right?
I've
Question
seen
mark.
most of it. Like I can't
Yeah,
tell you
everything's
what everybody does, but there's a few pieces I've had my eye on.
What are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I'm really excited about the absolute universe chases because I've been reading every one of the comics since it's come out. I really think it's I don't know a fresh take on the DC universe and it's different. I mean, maybe not so much Superman, but like Batman and Wonder Woman are super cool. But as far as the Hero Click go, I am excited about the absolute Superman and Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern. I also think is really good.
Yeah. So
We were kind of
interestingly
talking
enough,
about it.
yeah,
It's like she's getting some love and hate, but I think she's really good. The Green Lantern.
Yeah, the people at WizKids were talking about specifically that Green Lantern, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm not super into those. That like I said, that the absolute line of comics. I don't really read much comics at all. But uh, correct me if I'm wrong. The Green Lantern story, I guess, was written like in a different style or something to the other characters, or like they said it was like some sort of like like a mystery that they didn't reveal things until the end, or
They're still like learning. They're on issue. I just read issue 15 earlier today. They still don't give you all the answers. Like there's no rings. Like they've just been imbued with like power from like you know entities, and they're like learning what their powers are and how they work. And it's like green is not like red is not anger. It's like it's you're still learning. Like yellow's not bad. Like yellow's not fear. It feeds off of like
That's
I couldn't even explain to you like what everything does at the moment. That's how crazy it is.
that's wild. And
Yeah.
I don't even read comic books, but that sounds like something that. Okay, now I see why you're excited for those chases because that sounds pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
the
And
Green
I don't even
Lantern was
read
probably the most different from like the regular that and Martian Manhunter are probably the most different from like the actual like regular series.
yeah, because I
Martian
think for me,
Manhunter is there's no alien. It's just like well, I guess there is a Martian, but it's just like all in his head. There's not like a physical like Martian. Like all takes place in his head, and it's like
that's wild.
yeah, it's weird. It's pretty cool. The art style of that one's pretty cool too.
Yeah, because this is like at first I didn't like the set, but I'm starting to say okay, there's a couple cool things that you can play. Um, I think well for me it's probably um, I know we were talking about the Superman, and I changed my mind. I do like the Superman. I think it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I think he's definitely playable.
And I think the other one that I was looking forward to was the Flash. That was the other one that I
The
was looking
Flash, yeah,
forward
the Flash is good too. Yeah,
and then the Prime Slade Wilson. I was like, holy
yeah,
crap!
that
Now
one looks good too. That's one that
that
just got released or spoiled. I
yeah.
saw that one. Yeah,
And even oddly enough, the other Super Prime was the Prime one, not Wonder Woman, that thing, Starfire. That was
yeah, I think
another
that
one.
one's good too. I think a lot of the higher rarity and primes are pretty good. I don't
Yeah,
know, like
it's
Martian
not a bad
Manhunter. I
set.
don't think the figure's that good, but the sculpt looks cool. Like I'm just gonna collect all those just because of the comics alone. I feel like.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's a bad set. After looking through it, I was like, it's got some playable things. But it's gonna be. It feels like it's gonna be like the Venom set where um, you have to. It's gonna be like, well, okay, we see these figures. We're like, oh, these figures are pretty cool. And so someone finds a broken, well, not combo, but something where the team is more effective. Then the
Mhm.
prices on the face figures or even like the figures itself goes up in price. But I think that's really what happened with the Ganrak at
Matt called
Origins.
that from day one. I remember.
Yeah, Matt called it. He
I
said with
was
the
saying that
Ganrak.
I'm like the best chase in the set is Ganrak. I'm like,
And we all agreed. I just like, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we all
yeah,
agreed, but no one thought to play two. And that was
yeah.
like until you said like, hey, you should play two of these guys. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. This guy is pretty dang good. Um, but yeah, no, I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, I feel like this. I think they're gonna try to. I feel like the Slade Wilson's probably gonna be. At least I'm gonna try him out if I get him. I think he's pretty cool. That 13
I
attack
mean,
fucking
13
has me.
attack isn't bad, right?
Bro, look, I played Green Scar and with fucking 14, 15 attack, I still fucking couldn't roll higher than a 3. I was so
Yeah,
pissed.
but
I was like,
Slade
I
Wilson
was
can
so
also take the Batman enemy and give other people 13 attack, or Syndicate and give them 13 attack. Like,
well. And here's the thing: that's what I was looking at the ventriloquist. I was like, that dude was just busted because like you got the Scarface. The Scarface has the 13 attack and has a Batman enemy. So then you could do that with any other team player. That's why I
right?
was like, oh man, you play this guy with Eternity. You have 2 enhancements and 2 perplexes. Now,
Yeah,
dude's got like a
with a 13
15
attack.
attack. Well, he could
Yeah,
have a 15,
right,
15
with the
for 5.
superplexes. Yeah,
I was like, this guy is just, but I was like, oh man. Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's not that bad. It could have been better, yes, but I think it's got playable things.
I think some of the sealed games are going to be atrocious, like with Venom. You're going to get a pack with a rat and a cat and
Oh my god, can you
like
imagine like you get two
and an
rats in one
orderly,
pack?
yeah,
Oh my god.
or one of the astral characters. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stupid like 15-point characters that are just
Yeah, like the
like,
Astral
like they're
Martian
good and
Manhunter.
constructed, but it's like in sealed, it ain't going to do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
agree. I think that then there's with so many goons in the set, like yeah, it's like yeah, goons great for constructed. Goons are okay for sealed as well because you do have the fortune, or you are sometimes fortunate enough to play them at like a 45 or 50 point line, so that's
Hmm.
fine. Um, but yeah, like I'm looking through and it's like just scrolling through here. So we have like yeah, Gotham City Detective 20 points. It's a PD enhancement. It's okay, whatever. Rat in sealed is unplayable. Um, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I guess, are fine if you get both of them, but from what we've seen, they don't come in the same pack. So probably not great pieces if you only have one of them. But
I
yeah,
don't think they're
Astral Ray.
terrible. 30 points. I mean, the one's what, a close attacker, so you're attacking with 11 for 4 with a 4 charge, and it makes a bystander. I don't think it's that bad for 30 points.
Yeah,
you
no,
know, like the
but I'm just saying, like you said, like they're only 30 points. So if you get a booster that's, this 30 point guy, Astral
Yeah,
Raven, 15 points. Um, just going through, Tim
a
Drake, 30
battering.
points. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Battering equipment, and then your rare is Alfred, 30 points. You're like, what the? You're like,
bad
I don't.
pack, bro.
Mulligan.
Yeah,
Yeah, because even
right.
like the other one I was looking at too, like I thought was pretty interesting was like Lucius Fox makes like like the Arkham series, right? Like the grapple launcher, the explosive
Yeah, he makes
gel.
the equipments. Yeah.
Yeah, the equipment. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, that's like creative in a sense. But yeah, I honestly think this ain't bad. It's not a bad set at all.
Yeah, but I feel like you pull a Bizarro, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, you're 100% right.
Oh yes, yeah. For sealed, you're praying for Bizarro. You're like, please give me this thing. Yeah,
Oh my god. And you pull Alfred and you cry.
I'll never cry pulling
exactly.
Alfred. He's a G. Alfred's a G.
Oh my god.
I'll be energy exploding everybody.
Like every commissioning Gordon like doesn't seem good because like well besides the legacy, right? But I'm like, come on, bro, like Force Blast and all that goofy shit. I don't know.
I've never heard of Christopher Chance, and I am a huge Batman fan.
Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. Like I was thinking like, well, there's no Hush, right?
Hush is Thomas Elliott, his name is. So, but yeah, there's no Hush in this set.
Oh man, that would have been a good one.
That's a good thing to Google and say, who is Christopher Chance? He says it's the called the Human Target.
I have no idea.
Yeah, my game is the human target. This is how it's played. Uh, that's weird. So how the vault booster is going to be the expensive thing, man. But we'll see how it
That's like the
goes.
only things I haven't looked at were the vault. I haven't looked at any of the vault boosters yet.
It
Oh,
says
it's
that he's a private detective, bodyguard, and master of disguise who takes on the identities of clients facing death threats, drawing out and stopping assassins. So I
Hmm.
guess that his trait makes complete sense
Right.
then,
I'm about to
where
say that makes sense. Yep.
it's just like, yep, you're not going to shoot this person. You're actually going to shoot me instead.
Yeah.
So
I like how they made another utility belt. But
Yeah. I haven't looked at any of the vault booster stuff yet.
I don't know. I think I'm getting like I think maybe 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying to. Hopefully, I can pick some up. Well, hopefully I should say I'm trying to pick some extra some ball boosters up for the Fellowship Cup. I want to potentially surprise folks with bonus prizing.
Is that trio piece any good? I want it just because it looks cool, but is it any good? The Batman family?
Uh,
125. It's got Prague, 19
I
above.
mean,
No moving it.
you
Oh, they
know,
got
it's it's
charge.
it's it's one of those things that it's like with Animal Man, sure, you know.
Eh,
yeah, people were thinking like the legacy cards. I don't know. I feel like the legacy cards were like duds. That's just my personal opinion.
A few of
I'm
them,
just
like
upset.
I feel like the character selection was a little odd. I'm not sure exactly, you know.
I felt like they all came from like 2 sets too.
Yeah, it's like the Batman and Catwoman. I'm like, I get it, but yeah, the Mister Freeze makes sense, but like Robin didn't make any sense to me.
Like another
But,
Firefly.
yep, another. Yeah, I don't know. You would think they would have did like what was it, the Batman God of
And
Knowledge?
Mr.
That would
Freeze
have.
looks badass. I want that Mr. Freeze.
The Joker is actually I thought was well thought out, especially with the one shots. I think that was pretty well thought out. But yeah, this is gonna be probably the most expensive set as far as picking stuff up. It's just the equipment. That's basically it.
Yeah, because everything that it's basically, you get the good vault booster, and then all of a sudden that's going to be $100 booster. You know.
Yeah,
But
that's
I,
the hundred
Chef, I
percent.
wanted to ask you more about that, about the Martian, the absolute Martian Manhunter. So does he? Is he just in the comics a regular dude, or does he have any powers whatsoever?
No, he's just a detective, and this Martian, like he starts seeing it, and he doesn't think it's real, but it's like it starts affecting his life, and like he ends up like getting divorced from his wife and kid, and then like this Martian's trying to warn him of shit that's going on that he can't like see, that other people can't see. Like he's the only one that sees the Martian. Like it's like all in his head, and basically his Martian's warning him of a bad Martian that's coming and like how to protect against it, but he's ignoring it. And he ends up losing the Martian, and then realizing, it was actually helping me, and I need to find a way to get it back. It's crazy. It's like psychedelic as shit. I don't know. It's weird, but it's fun.
Hmm.
It's super trippy. Like I feel like I'm on shrooms when I'm reading it half the time.
Yeah,
The
I'm just
side
thinking like,
effect
do
of
they
drugs.
I mean, if you want
based
to
on that?
check any of it, I have everything. If you want to read any of it, I have all of every absolute comic that's come out. I have all of them. So
So do they? Um, how many storylines are there? Like, is it basically one for each of the chases that they've shown, or is there more?
well, it started with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are the first three. Then like 6 months later, they added in they started a Flash one, and they started the Martian Manhunter. Then they added Green Lantern. Now they just started a Catwoman one, but Catwoman was in the Batman one. Trying to think what else. Uh, and then they did like a Absolute Evil. It was like a one shot, but it shows like all the bad guys like teaming up. Like in the Superman, Lex Luthor's not his villain. It's what's that guy's name? Ra's al Ghul is Superman's villain. And then Batman's villains are all his friends that he grew up with, like the Penguin and Killer Croc and the Riddler. Like he grew up as all their friends. He's not rich. His mother's alive. You find out his mother was like in the Court of Owls. It's super cool. Like it's just a different take. I think it's so cool. Like he has a giant axe on his chest that he hits people with, and he's very violent. Um, I don't know. I think it's just super unique. Superman, his cape talks to him. Soul.
Soul. That's why. So that's why on his trait,
It's
it's
like
like,
his
oh,
it's like
soul.
his suit. Yeah, it like takes care of him. It's like his ship almost.
Okay.
And then Wonder Woman's like a witch that was raised in hell. So she has she does like a lot of witchcraft and shit like that. But yeah, that's probably my second favorite. Other than Batman, the Wonder Woman's probably my favorite one. She's got that giant
Yeah,
sword. It's on the sculpt, but it's way bigger in the comic. It's like giant. It's like a skyscraper.
because she has a trait that says like it says something in whatever hieroglyphics or whatever, and then it says I am Medusa.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does
she
she
uses a
ever?
lot of like witchcraft and she summons like gods and stuff like that. But in one of the first storylines, there's this giant squid that was sent to like kill Coast City or whatever the hell it was. And what it does is it makes a sound that like brainwashes people to come to the ocean and basically just drown themselves. So she casts a spell over the city where it makes everyone deaf where they can't hear. I don't know. I thought it was super cool. But that's how she kills that giant squid is with that huge sword. And it shows how she got all of her weapons, like the lasso shows where that came from. And, they're starting to do like crossovers now. Did one with Wonder Woman and Batman together.
And
I don't
if
know.
giant
I really
squid,
like it.
if giant squid, if that's the highest point character on your force, then she's gonna, you can't evade and damage dealt is penetration. So.
I'm trying to think what other ones that have recently. Catwoman's the newest one. Oh, they did Green Arrow has one. They're only on 2 issues of that one, but they're doing Absolute Green Arrow now too.
So
You don't know who
what's
it
the
is
deal with
yet.
him?
They haven't
You don't
shown
know?
you who the Green Arrow is. Supposedly Oliver Queen is dead, and he's killing all Oliver Queen's old business partners, the Green Arrow. And I guess at this point, Dinah Lance, the Black Canary, would be the main character. But they're just trying to figure out who the Green Arrow is. But there's only been 2 issues of that one.
Gotcha. Yeah, but going back because that was like I said, WizKids was talking about specifically at this point they're saying the Green Lantern, but the point of at the time that they were creating the chase, Green Lantern, that there were not too many issues of the Absolute Green Lantern that were released.
Mhm.
So they were saying that they were most nervous about that chase because they were like, we kind of don't really know, or at the time, they didn't have a good idea of who or what the character was and what
Mhm.
it could do and all that stuff. So they're like, we hope that it's a good representation of the character because we had very little information to go off of.
I
So
mean,
it's
you still don't really know what she can do, honestly. Like, they're still kind of unveiling all that.
yeah, and I suppose it does help WizKids now that the flavor text of all the standard powers and everything are gone, so they don't have to explain why does this character have sidestep? I have Green Lantern.
Yeah, and that one, Hal Jordan he actually becomes the Black Hand for a few issues, and it's crazy. I can't even like explain what's happening in that one half the time. I'm as lost as anyone that doesn't read it is almost. I feel like.
Yeah, so like with the Flash, because this Flash, it makes a Grodd bystander. So is Grodd
Yeah,
Flash's friend in this?
yeah. Grodd's a little monkey, and they like find each other, and they're like helping each other, like get away from. I guess it'd be the Rogue Gallery who's hunting the Flash,
That's funny.
like Captain Boomerang and Captain Cold and all them. But yeah, Grodd's just a little tiny monkey.
Yeah, I was wondering why that was even a thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
had Peterson for that one. I play some more for bystanders.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the Flash Chase has some potential,
Yeah, that one
but
seems like it could be really good.
yeah,
I don't remember it that
has a
well. I'm going to look at it again.
has a super solid stop click, but it's one of those things that it's like it's another one of those pieces that you're like, yep, it would be amazing to put Animal Man on it, but
Isn't that
every piece
everybody
on your
though?
team, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not every piece on your team can have Animal Man, so I don't know what
Yeah,
else.
when you use
Maybe,
probability control, you roll the dice, and every roll is helpful. I feel like you can either heal him
yeah,
one, remove an action token, or move him 2 squares.
yeah. There's not a
Generates the grab
bad result.
bystander, and he has a stop hypersonic, can go through walls, and then he has charge. Oh no, it's not. He just moves through walls and then charge, but don't have speed. And that's like click 3 is the stop click.
Yeah, and then Grodd is that he's always carrying it is has got empower, so yeah, if he hits you on that click for 5 penetrating, that's legit.
Yeah, mind control, double bolts, these 2 characters. Yeah, that's a good bystander. Yeah, I mean, you hit your stop click, then you attack and prob, and then you could possibly potentially heal yourself one. Get off the stop
Yeah,
click.
that was that's the click that you really want to roll a 3 and a 4. You're like, please give me, please heal me. But another reason, yet again, another reason to always run the Bloodstone. It's such
Yeah,
a good
exactly.
equipment.
I don't
Do
know. Is
we think
Clayface
that
any good? I haven't looked at him.
Which one? The
Doesn't
super rare
seem.
Clayface?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like he's that good.
He's all right. I think he's all right.
Oh, if he hits shape change, no, you can't. They can't pick anyone else. If he was the only
Yeah, well,
target and he
yeah,
hits shape change, they
right.
can't. They basically can't attack.
Yeah, it's basically his shape changes. It's almost like, again, if it's a single target attack, it's like an early super senses, where if you get it, you're like, tax over, you know.
Yeah,
But it's
and he
again,
makes a bunch of those little
it's
bystander guys.
yeah, I think pieces like him in competitive are it's it's like, unfortunately, in competitive hero clicks, characters don't really roll shape change because there's
Because of the head.
every yeah, like Sentinel Head or
Yeah,
Ravencroft Institute, everyone's gonna have Battle Fury. You know, it's a little tricky, but it's, yeah, mainly the Sentinel Head because that's 0 points and it's insane.
yeah.
But it's definitely something to think about. Um, Actually, no, because the Sentinel Head's not going to rotate out. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a little tricky. Maybe these are just in an unfortunate spot where they're always going to be modern age with the Sentinel Head.
Oh, he can make slime terrain markers too.
Yeah,
And then you can KO one of your critters within 3 squares and use regen as free. It's not terrible. I don't know. I really like Clayface. I think he's a cool character.
yeah. If there's a way, like, I don't know, there's probably a way to do something with his defense power to like make you miss him, and then so that you can give action tokens out to people. I don't know. Not 100% sure.
Heritage techniques are cool too. I think that's something that's super. Like I think that's something that's not. It's new to the game and it's not like toxic like one shots are, in my opinion.
Correct.
Because you get
I
an inherited
agree, and I
trait,
think it's
character has to go on the board, and yeah,
yeah, and it's limited to martial artists.
right.
So you can't just go, oh, anybody is gonna get this, and you're like, no, 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 no. It's actually
Well,
thematic.
unless they're fucking what's that guy's name that has every keyword? Eternity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another thing. There was a lot of talk at after Origins of the idea that just Eternity needs to be changed somehow, one of the more common suggestions was that instead of Eternity gaining every keyword,
He picks
it
one.
was you just during it would they would change. Well, the suggestion that was pushed around a lot, again, can't say it's going to ever happen, but was that instead of during establishing theme teams, it would just be moved to during force construction that you would only pick one keyword. Therefore, if they're like, yeah, if you want to put Bast on them for free, you can pick Herald and you can put Bast on them for free. But then you don't get you don't get the X-Men Abscissa revival, you don't get the Speedster bonus damage, you don't get this
The
martial artist
syndicate
inherent
share
trait.
attacks and all that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much stuff that you get from you don't get the parademon jumping in
Yeah.
from Apocalypse
What's
thing.
that called? Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild with all the things that you can get. On top of the fact that and there are several ways of doing it, but if Eternity generates any bystanders, then those bystanders get every single keyword. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's like it's not super healthy for the game.
Oh,
But,
yeah. I seen a lot of
yeah,
people were playing him at Origins. Look like.
yeah, because especially with the map menu, when they're like, there's nowhere to hide. I'm gonna get you. Let's see, what else was I looking at? What else
Man, Slade
was?
Wilson is really good.
Yeah, he's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Regeneration is free, just traded. Cool.
Yes. Which again, it's like once Bloodstone rotates out, man, that's gonna be a really good trait. It's really
That's like
good.
what was that? Talon? Prime Talon? Didn't she have that? The regeneration is
Yes.
free. Yeah.
Yes. It's odd when they're like, so we're coming up with a good assassin piece. And everyone's like, okay, so it's a prime. And they're like, wait, what? What is just because every slightly good assassin piece, like it's a prime. You can't play them together. Like, why? Like, why can't assassin teams be good? Right.
13
But yeah,
attack is crazy.
it is odd though how insanely better he is than regular, like from Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Deathstroke is actively bad. Like if you play him on if you're
Deathstroke's
playing
just
him
the
on
piece you
like
need if
four,
you're playing the assassin team with the target. What's
yeah,
that character?
if you're
Talon,
playing
or is it Talon, right? Yeah.
yes, yeah, Talon's the one that's
Yeah.
no defense power. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're playing a 500 point game with assassins and you're just messing around, yeah, Deathstroke Talon, great. But in any other reasonable game, he just dies in one hit, and your opponent either gets 60 or 80 points, and
Not if
that's
I had
not very
Fortify
good.
or Images of Icon or fucking all this
Yeah.
other shit.
No, well, they're gonna have Silver Surfer, and but yeah, no, like I said, primes are Deathstroke is really good for the prime 13 attack. I think the Starfire also has 13 attack, but
There's no
oh well,
penguin in the set.
she has printed 12, but she gives herself 13, I think, right? Yeah, her trait. Penguin in the set?
No
I don't
penguin
think
or
there's a
Riddler.
no. No, the penguin. There's a penguin that comes from the vault booster, but I don't think there's a. Is there a Riddler that comes in the vault booster? I don't think so.
No.
Let me just type Riddler.
Oh, giant penguin. What's that? Oh, it's an actual penguin.
Yeah, no Riddler in the vault booster. Oh, no Riddler in the set, I should say. Also, yeah.
I mean, either shit.
Uh,
I'm just noticing all these main characters that aren't in the set, which I think is fine. I'm fine with them not. I'm glad there's not 9 Batmans in this set.
yeah, but I mean the penguin though, for the one that is in the vault booster is pretty wild.
Is he?
Um,
They usually make him good
yeah,
for
so
some reason. I don't know why.
he he's got a he's I think he's one of the few characters where both his regular card and his team up card are both really solid. So his regular card allows you to equip uh, characters. Um, basically where instead of assigning them
Oh, I see
equipment,
him.
you put it on your sideline. So it's kind of like you can get free equipment, but just like the collector ability, it's like got to be 30 points or less.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like, hey, instead of paying, you're like, oh, I wish I had 10 points for this. You're like, well, do you have a sideline slot? Because if you do, then you can get it for
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
essentially makes him like 25 points almost
Yeah,
instead of
like I said,
55. He's
yeah,
getting 30
'cause
points of equipment.
yeah. And then his team up one is just really good with um, the goons. He makes goons automatically. So, but then you have to be on an Arkham Asylum theme team, which is a little bit iffy, whatever. But it's one of those it's like, hey, if you are, you know, might as well.
There's a Beast Boy Bird. This must be all the booster, the vault booster stuff. I haven't seen any of this.
Yeah, anything that has a set number that
5?
starts with 5, that's
Yeah.
from a vault booster. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Pegasus equipment, mainly because it's one of the few equipment that gives flurry.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Flurry and combat reflexes?
Yeah, flurry, combo reflexes, and flight. Yeah.
Jesus.
So a lot of people are obviously looking at that specifically also with the Chase Wonder Woman because it's free for her. And that allows her to what does she do? What is her top dial? I can't think of it at the top of my head. I'm scrolling back to it. So it should be what 13 for 5 twice with giant reach 4 knockback.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah, so it's pretty nasty. I mean, it's not a great equipment when if you deal her 1 damage and then she doesn't have a move and attack since she already has flurry. But from a top dial thing, it's great, and it's also really insane for her to have flurry top dial because if you do hit twice, her trait triggers twice, which is when she hits, you get +1 action total. So let's
You
say
get plus 2?
standard, yeah, standard 300-point game. You got leadership. You have 4 actions. You charge flurry and you hit both times. You say, how many actions do I still have left? And you're like, well, now you have 5 left. You're like, what? Right. And so you can definitely do some weird things with that.
Jesus. And then she becomes colossal with 3 bolts like the stop slick.
Yeah, and then same thing. And if when you're on that click, it's like, yep, you can triple target psychic blast, or if with the Pegasus, you can sidestep and triple target flurry. And
Yikes.
let's see what else is good from vault boosters. I mean, there's quite a few things, but what else that people are talking about? What are people talking? Let's see, was it? Um, the Catwoman. I think people liked the Catwoman because it was kind of has the rogue effect of when it hits you, you just unequips you, and then it actually immediately equips the Catwoman, and she can be equipped with any number of equipment that way. So she just starts yanking everybody's toys away. Let's see what other. I forgot which one of the motorcycles was also people were talking about it. Generally, I will say, generally speaking, all of the motorcycles are arguably worse than the motorcycle we got from Wheels of Vengeance. Same thing with Hell Cycle, I think they did that on purpose because they realized that those things were a little too good on release. because now like I'm looking at, so current motorcycle is like but that most people use it for was
Bat
let's just say the
cycle.
charge click, right? So it's charge it's charge with +2 speed, super senses, right? That's what it gives you. And now
Mm-hmm.
the motorcycle with charge now just gives you charge with +1 speed and passenger 1. So definitely worse. And then the running shot 1 again just gives you running shot 0 speed and then passenger 1. So, and I think the old one also gave passenger shot, but I think it
Yeah,
gave you
it did.
+1 speed.
Plus free move 1 square, I think it was. Or no, that was different. That was, what was that one?
The free move 1 square is the combat reflexes one, but the other one I thought it
That's what it
was
was. Yeah.
+1. Yeah, I thought it was +1 speed. Let's see, motorcycle. Yeah, it's +1 speed and passenger 1. So this is literally a worse version. It's 0 speed
I feel like
instead of 1.
this stunt driving on the motorcycle could be good. No, free move up to 1 square. When this character successfully breaks away, modify their attack and damage +1 this turn. If you get that on a character with like plasticity, can you do it
Yeah.
twice? Because it's free. It says when this character successfully breaks away, modify their attack and damage +1 this turn. So if I move 1 square and break away, I get +1 attack and damage. And then if I have to break away from like a charge or something, would that be +1 in attack and damage again?
Yes, so that is
Ooh,
that's the best way. Yeah, like you said, put on someone with plasticity, free move,
yeah,
because it says move up to 1 square, so you can move 0.
yeah. Find
Like
someone that has like charge plasticity or something, or yeah, something like that.
ooh, I think his name rhymes with uh G Ganrak.
Oh, Giganrak likes that one.
Yeah. But yeah, potentially. I mean, it's a 15-point equipment, but that's potentially really solid for a Ganrak.
Yeah, for a +2
Like you
attack
said.
and damage. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and because if they have a monster or symbiote, you already have +1 to all combat values.
Ooh. Yeah,
So
so it'd
that'll
be
be that's
+3 attack and damage.
what. Yeah, yeah. It's Ganrak, get off the motorcycle. like, it's like he's like hits you for 7. You're like, ouch.
Fucking roll a 1
Uh,
on breakaway. That'd be me.
yeah, that's real. Yeah, you better have a better have prop for that breakaway. Yeah. But like I said, other than that, normally all the other cycle stuff is just kind of it's the same that what we've seen before, but just arguably worse. But like I said, I think it's for a good reason. What other stuff we got? Yeah, like I said, we got a new utility belt, which just gives you 1 shots. And some of those are pretty good, especially since this lets you reuse them. Uh,
Oh, let's you just keep flipping them back and using them again. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so utility belt, it says you can add a utility belt 1 shot to your sideline without paying its cost. And it also doesn't count against your sideline limit. And then at the beginning of the turn, you can turn a face down utility belt 1 shot face up.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes on anybody with Batman family, which there's a million, so it's basically it's always going to be free. It's a free equipment. It gets you a free 1 shot that you can reuse virtually every turn.
Oh, I think the All Blade is really good.
That's the one that gives you precision, right?
It's
No,
safeguard.
it's
It's
not.
Blades Claws
That's
Fang,
the
safeguard
safeguard
mystics, and
mystics.
then it says this character deals penetrating damage to characters with a mystical keyword. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's only free on Red Hood or Jason Todd. Which
Yeah,
how many of those are there? Let's see, Red.
and the set probably
Well,
like 4.
There's 4 Red Hood. No, sorry, there's 3 Red Hoods. Because one of them's Red Hood Gang. And the other one is what you said. You said Jason Todd. Is there even a
Jason
Jason
Todd.
Todd?
Yeah, there's no
Oh, it's
one
the
for sure. I know.
yeah, it's the uncommon.
Yeah.
But there was, I mean, there's a couple of the other Amazon equipment that are pretty good because they allow you to place 2 of them um, on a character. Like you can, it's similar to the Mandarin rings. You can have 2 Mandarin rings. You can
I
have
see if they
2.
have Amazonian in their name.
Well, yeah. If the equipment's got it, so you can have 2 Amazonian somethings on a single
Gotcha.
character. Yeah. So what do we have? Amazon. Let me just type
Shield and
Amazonian.
sword.
It's just the shield and sword, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's basically gonna have
Yeah.
2, the shield and the sword. Yeah. Okay. This is the sword that gives you the precision strike. That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of. And then what's the
The
shield?
shield gives you combat reflexes and
Reflex.
mystics, but only on close
Yeah,
attacks.
all right. Yeah. So again, on any character with the Amazon keyword, getting blades,
Yeah, all
precision
that for
strike.
free.
Yeah, for free. I think that's it. Similar to it's nowhere near as good as the destroyer armor, where it's like, oh wow, everybody with the Asgardian keyword is really good now. But the idea of, like you said, any character, granted they don't really do DC stuff very often, but maybe they come out in an iconics line or something. But any character that has the Amazon keyword, you're like, oh, let me just look at that character again, because if I give you these 4 additional powers, are you good now? Yeah, pretty much.
Lasso of Truth it's kind of 20 points. Shit. But it takes away Safeguard and Protected Outwit. Hmm.
What do you think, based off of the Absolute Comics, what do you think is the best designed Absolute Chase? Or really, I don't know, is that the only pieces in the set that come from the Absolute line are the chases? Are there any other characters in the set that
It's only the
fall into that?
chases that I've seen.
So which
Yeah, I think
chase
it's
do you
just the
think
chases.
represents their character from the comics the best? So you got
Just
Batman,
like their powers and
Superman.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, which one do you like? Oh, yeah, that seems like they,
Like Batman's the
you know,
coolest to me, and he's probably the weakest of all of them. I feel like. Why do they always make shitty Batman chases? Um, I would probably say, honestly, Martian Manhunter. I think he's the most colorful, out of the smoke that represents the color that he sees the Martian in,
yeah.
and then
I
you
think,
remove those, and he basically becomes the Martian more or less.
yeah, I think they did his dial, uh, his dial and his sculpt. I think they artistically put it together in the correct way, quote unquote. Whereas the colors of the Martian are green, blue, red, and orange. Looks
Yeah,
like. And the colors, oh, and and there's black and there's white,
yeah, and the
and
dial kind of
and
represents
it's like
that.
the colors on the dial are only that,
Yeah,
and so it's like, oh yeah, so it's I think that's pretty interesting.
I just think like you got to get to that colossal click before he just dies, though. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, but it's not. I mean, it's not impossible to do. It's not. I mean, like I said, it's not impossible, but it's yeah, it is a little. It is definitely
Man, Flash
tricky.
has precision strike his whole dial. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's very. It's weird comparing the Chase Flash to the super rare one. Like I said, granted, I know they're the same character, but it's from a different universe where they do different stuff.
Hmm.
But like you said, the chase one of it's like okay, he gets precision strike his whole dial, and then the super one's like, oh, you want to play him at top tile? Sorry, you're gonna lose precision strike now. And you're like, what? What?
Yeah, I think that's when you're better off just playing 30 points, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that it is definitely a piece designed for 30 points.
I think he's just
Where
there to make Team Titan teams better. Like you say, he gives all the Titans ignore
yes, that's all it
characters.
is. For 30
Yeah.
points, you just say the only thing that I don't like about his uh, dial or whatever you want to call it is that, like you said, he has the trait that says friendly characters with Teen Titans have moved through, improvement with characters. But then on his dial, he also has improvement with characters, so it's redundant. Like he
Yeah, he doesn't
already,
need that, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, he gives it to himself, so you don't actually need to have it on his dial if he has a trait that gives it to him and
Well, if he
everybody
loses his
else.
team ability, would he lose that movement then?
It's true, but who makes you lose a team ability?
Loki.
Well, I think they say you can't use it, right?
It just says they have it. If they have it. So yeah, that would have to be you can't use it, right?
Let's see. It says other characters can't use team abilities. Right. So he still has it. They just
Okay.
can't
You just
use
can't
it.
use it.
Yes. So yeah. So I don't think there's really anything that just says, like we're going to completely remove your team ability from your dial. So again, like I said,
I
it's just
just
it's
feel
just a
like
weird.
the Batman should have more. I don't know. All he has invuln on one click, and then it's toughness and reflexes. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
No. Oh, he has
Yeah.
traded blade claws fangs. I'm gonna say he uses an axe, but doesn't have blades claws fangs, but he has it traded.
Yeah. You got. I mean, I don't know. Do you just always put longsword on him? I don't know what you do. This guy.
You need something defensive. I feel like.
Well, if you force your opponent to hit other stuff a bunch, then uh, I guess you could have him hit him once and then force your opponent to, like I said, hit other stuff to heal him back up. I don't. Again, it's one of those things where you're only going to be healing for one square, so until Bloodstone rotates, he's not going to be doing nothing. And again, like when we saw the Batman piece get revealed, the first thing that I remember me and Rick looked at each other like, that's a really good special power for Rogue to outwit. Yeah. So every time you hit something, Rogue heals. You're like, yeah, that'll be really annoying.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you can move him one square. I don't know. I just don't see him being good.
No, I don't see him being good either.
I do like
And
Superman,
it,
but I think he'd be a lot better if he had a stop click on that last click. But There's a good chance you
Yeah,
never even get to use that pulse wave.
right. Yeah, there is. It's one of those things. I agree. It's like if you're going to attack him, the only reason, like, okay, I'm just trying to think of why would he still be on his last click, or one of his last two clicks at the end of your opponent's turn. So that would mean that they're hitting him for the first time, and let's say they understand that after the damage you take, you're going to be on click 7 or 8. So they're saying to themselves, all right, he's going to be either a 16 or 17 defense, and then they miss the follow-up attack. I mean, how unlikely is that?
Yeah, I don't.
So I guess if your opponent misses on a 16 or 17 defense, yeah, I guess they deserve to get pulse wave for 3. It's like, but other than that, they're gonna hit this follow-up attack because there's no way that your opponent's just gonna go, well, I guess I'll hit you now, and then I'll get pulse wave for 3, and then next turn I'll KO you. It's like, no,
Well, I guess you could use his trait. That would, I mean, if like once per turn when a friendly character in the range line of fire would be attacked, you may instead place Superman adjacent to the original target and make him become the only target. So then maybe you can get hit onto those clicks. I don't know. Maybe that's how you can play it. I don't know.
right. But I think again, your opponent knows that you have that ability, so I think they have to always consider like, okay, like based on the positioning, they go, well, if I attack this other character, your Superman could jump in. You're like, yep, he could. So like, okay, so I just kind of have to assume that I'm attacking Superman.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. Some people don't think that way though.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
it's like
the really good players do, but
you're not playing him at 170. There's just no way. You're not paying 170 points for 11 attack. You're not doing that.
I don't know. I think I would.
You can pay 170 for that?
Uh,
I don't know. I don't feel like he
yeah,
does
because then he's always
nearly enough.
reducing. He's always reducing penetrating damage.
I mean, there's characters that are less than half that point value that reduce penetrating all the time. And their names rhyme with Giganrak. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't get it.
Giganrak can be outwit, can he?
On his top dial, yeah. But once he gets to his good click, then you can't outwit it.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like him having fucking incapacitate either. But whatever.
Yeah, does I don't get that. Does that make sense thematically or something? Does he do stuff to incapacitate people?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is like Superman doesn't want to hurt people. He just wants to incapacitate them. I don't know.
But even in the absolute universe, he does that too.
Yeah, he's more like he's just there to kind of like he's just trying to protect the people that can't protect themselves. Like in the beginning, he's just kind of in hiding, moving country to country, trying to just stay off the grid and just be left alone. And he's like in one part, he's like in a mining town, and they're like beating the poor people, and he's like saving them and shit. Yeah, he's not like I can see that. I don't know. I still don't like incapacitate altogether. Like no one ever uses incapacitate. Just give him quake all the way.
All right. Let's see. I'm not going to keep you for much longer. I'm going to say final thoughts on something. Let's talk about something from outside the Batman set. If you are building a competitive modern age team, are you considering playing the Orb of Agamotto terrain? Yes or no?
I'm not even sure exactly what it does. I haven't played competitively since the Cheesehead Championship. I think that was the last time I played like a competitive game, and that was what April.
Okay, so well, I'll just send the Orb of Agamotto terrain. What it does, so it's a terrain with pretty much, it's not exactly, it's almost standard default terrain values, except that its range value is a 2 instead of a 3 for if you throw it at somebody. But you're never going to do that. But it just says it's 5 points, and it's a single square of hindering terrain, and it says when an adjacent character uses perplex, probability control, or outwit, they may target a character regardless of range or line of fire if that character is equipped or has the mystical keyword.
I mean, yeah,
So
why wouldn't you play that?
yeah, so
I
it's
don't see why
the
you would not play that.
thanks. Yeah. What do you if you are playing it? What do you think you'd play it with?
I feel like you play with Ace or maybe Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice don't have outwit though, does he? No. Probably just Ace. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Or that Nico, she can use all those powers, right?
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can use perplex when you use one shots. She can use outwit, and if you want her to have prob, you could just say the word prob, and she gets it.
But she can do that thing where she can use outwit twice or something. Isn't it something like that with the possessor or some shit like that?
That's yeah. There's the Hoggoth possessor or avatar or whatever. That yeah, if you attach it to somebody, then they can use that twice per turn. It's outwit or perplex. When they use outwit or perplex, they can use it twice a turn.
So yeah, you can
So
just do
that was
2 times from across the map.
yeah, that was the combo that people were talking about with Ace. Like, oh, I can outwit anything on any equipped character or any character that has the mystical keyword, and I can do it twice. That's pretty
And there's
nasty.
nothing you can do to stop me.
Yeah, unless you have
Destroy the
Beetlejuice,
orb.
and then if you have
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, you stop it immediately. Like,
Damn it, Beetlejuice still rules.
yeah, but I guess that also go. It begs the question of, even though things like Orb of Agamotto and Ace are so good, the fact that Beetlejuice just won nationals, like does that hinder
I
that
mean,
strategy at all?
it just makes your ace useless, I feel like.
Right, but it's like, if you're able to KO the Beetlejuice, it's such an insanely good power spike all of a sudden mid game. But
I mean, yeah,
is it
that's
worth?
usually when I play against the main force Beetlejuice, that's usually like, okay, let's go kill Beetlejuice. There's nothing else. I don't know. I was trying to watch some of the streaming from Origins, and I seen people making mistakes. Like, I forget who it was. They're playing Beetlejuice in the double again rack, and this guy was playing like the big fire dragon, the new dragon thing, and he was just a solo attacking Beetlejuice. It's like why aren't you dual targeting? Because you're just gonna mastermind. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people making mistakes like that. I hate Beetlejuice. I like him, but I hate him.
Yeah,
Like
when
I've seen
it was,
people playing that double Egan rack Beetlejuice, and I'm just like, this is bullshit.
I mean, it brings HeroClix back to the good old days of we're just punching each other, man. That's all we're doing. We're just punching each other.
Yeah, except when I punch you, you mastermind to a guy who rolls out of it and does nothing.
That's not the question we're asking.
Shit.
We are punching each other. It just so happens that when you punch me, you punch yourself. But that's
Oh,
I am
Jesus.
like I said, I don't think it's ever going to happen because Sentinel Head exists, but it would be, I think, one of the most frightening things in the game is an Eganrak that is able to roll shape change and is also equipped with the Dream Ruby. I mean
Yeah, like, why even bother?
yeah. It's like if I'm able to roll shape change, oh,
You
good luck.
take
No, it's like
you take your own damage, and then if I hit impervious, you take your own damage.
yeah, it's like it's like what he's immune. We get it. He's
With
immune. Don't
probably
attack.
+1s to my rolls.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, there's a 50-50 chance that you get the shape change, a 50-50 chance you get the impervious. On
Yeah,
top of the fact
that's.
that you also need to hit the attack. Like, it's like, all right, I just won't mess with that guy.
I know. I remember at that Cheesehead Championship, I almost killed myself attacking Rick when he had the gain rack. Like, I think I did that against you. I end up or Rick, somebody. I end up KOing myself going
Oh,
after.
it
It was
was
against you. Yeah,
our
hardest
practice
practice
game
match. Yeah.
when we were just like, yeah, you were just like, you know what, whatever, I'll just make the attack. I'm on my last click. I was like, if I get it, I think I rolled a 5. I'm like, I got it. Game's over. It's like,
It's like it's like having pieces that you don't want to attack is crazy. Like this guy's gonna destroy me, but I can't hit him. Like that's just messed up.
yeah, it's a very interesting way to design a
All right.
piece. It's be like, do we want this piece to be attacked? I'm like, no. And you're like, well, how do you KO him? Well, you attack him. Well, what? Remember that first question I just asked? Like, what?
It's like you almost need like poison with like a syndicate team or some shit. But with Beetlejuice, you can't even do that.
Yeah, I think that's people put like 2 and 2 together of, oh, every weakness Eganrak has, Beetlejuice just buttons it up completely. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do that feels like I got around Eganrak other than what is it? Cap Pegasus pretty much?
Yeah. And even then you still got your shape change, right?
Yeah. And uh most Cap Pegasus are, you know, they're good, quote unquote, because of whatever equipment you give them. And then Eganrak goes, well, you're not going to get the effect of that
You don't
equipment.
get your equipment, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So,
I like if you asked me we're playing a game, this weekend, I wouldn't even know what the hell I would play. I honestly don't know. They've ruined my team and now I don't know what to do.
I don't know. You'd probably be playing Swamp Thing.
I probably would. He's my favorite character, so
He's so good. You're like,
just like Ace and Swamp Thing.
yep, it'd be Ace with Orb of Agamotto and
Oh, I actually like that team I tried against you. It was Lobo, Swamp Thing, what else is on there? It was Lobo, Swamp Thing, Vigilante,
Spider-Man.
the Dream, the Miles Spider-Man. Like that was a fun team, but I couldn't use shape change, so the whole team was just like. And then you have Wally West, who just says no senses either.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, it's like I feel like the same way of you're like, there's so many cool teams I feel that revolve around shape change of like, oh man, if I get this shape change, and then you play as a 0 point equipment or terrain, and you're just like, what the?
At that point, you got to go first and go blow it up. Like that's the only thing you can really do.
Yeah, that's we did see quite a bit of that at Origins of people just using Eternity to say, I'm going to destroy the Sentinel Head.
Yeah, but you got to go first for that because if you go second, someone's just gonna go pick it up, and then it's just like okay,
Yep.
no shape change this game.
Yeah, there or potentially there needs to be more ways of getting rid of super strength from a character without using outwit.
I think you just
Because
rule mimic to where it's like how he was before. Like if you try to pick something up, I get the roll. No matter what square you're in. I hate that they changed that. Like they ruined the whole purpose of them. I feel like.
yeah, it's one of those game effects that um yeah, it doesn't really work with a way that like the way if
Occupancy or
you
whatever.
yeah, exactly. If you just like spoke in plain English of like, this is how I want the character to work, everybody at the table would be like, oh, I understand. And they're like, okay, well now we have to actually write it into the rules, and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. And you're like, what? You're like, no, it doesn't work because characters don't really move. They actually get like technically
Place.
placed one square at a time, but we call that moving, and you're like, what? It's just so yeah. No, but it was funny though how there's a couple very basic things in the rules that don't work the way that they're written or as written, but no real judge would ever rule it that way. For I don't really talk about it that often because I don't really care about tiny rules like rules lawyer interactions kind of like this where, for example, if I said, okay, I have a character that's on elevation 1 and it wants to move to elevation 2, whether it be through a transition square or not. You're like, well, can they do that? You'll be like, well, yeah, they can. Well, the rules actually say no, you can't. You can't move onto different elevations because the rule of movement is that you're moving into an adjacent square, and squares of different elevation they're never adjacent. So you can technically never move onto in a square that's not that's on a different elevation, which is again like, would any judge rule that way? No, because that's ridiculous, and it's like, of course transition squares do things, and of course whatever. So it's just weird. There's elevated terrain causes a lot of issues, but I don't know. Of course, I don't think this is information that I wouldn't be able to say because of my NDA, but because they said it loud enough for, I would think, any walker by to hear. But who knows? I mean, we all know that a comprehensive rulebook is in the pipeline, and some people at WizKids did say like, "Hey, we got to make sure that this comprehensive rulebook gets released alongside the Fight for Gotham City set because apparently there's game mechanics in the set that aren't covered by the current comprehensive rulebook." I'm not 100% sure, without going through the whole set again, I'm not 100% sure what mechanics those are, but the one that did stand out to me a little bit, I think, was Prime Slade, right? Was that what I said? I was like something about his. Oh yeah, Slade's defense power is like impervious, and it says when Slade Wilson uses it during an attack, increase the result of the D6 roll by +1, blah 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 blah. But current rules of impervious are that you can only roll the D6 if it's damage from an attack. So the fact that it says when he uses it during an attack doesn't, it's odd that they would even have that unless they plan on changing impervious so that you always roll regardless of
Mhm.
the source. I don't know. So maybe impervious might get a little bit better. Who knows? But yeah, I don't really know what other game mechanics they're talking about. I do know that, of course, did you see that the previews for that Superman Iconics?
No.
Well,
Fortress Solitude or whatever.
yeah, one of them it's like the miniature city, and
Andor.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's basically it's a mini map that you put off to the side that you can have characters move onto,
Okay.
and they're like that game mechanic needs an entirely new section of the comprehensive rulebook to cover, but it's gonna be a wild time, especially if characters like Spot and things exist at the same time,
Yeah.
where you'll have a character that's on a mini map, basically like in another dimension, attacking characters on the main map, and yeah, and just kind of like being immune while they're off on doing their own thing. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. We'll see. But yeah, okay. Final question of the night. What piece are you most excited about owning yourself from the Fight for Gotham set?
I mean, I think I just have to go Absolute Batman. Like, that's my favorite thing going right now. And even though he's not very good, he's still my favorite.
Well, hey, it is the second life of Batwalker. It's-
I'm gonna have to do a
Batwalker's the best.
Absolute
He's
Batman team.
yeah. It's like, why does the Batman version of the thing have to be the worst one? It's like,
Oh God. I don't know.
it's like
Maybe
one of
there'll be
these.
some cool shit that comes out that makes them good. I don't know.
You think about this. You can use Batwalker and Absolute Batman on the same team. How great would that be? You'd be like, my team is entirely made up of Batman who are just absolute trash. Like
High
just
rarity Batman that don't do anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Did you I know I just said that was the last question, but this will be the last question. Did you see the new Batman LE, the buyable one?
No, I don't think so.
He
Or maybe I
is
did. I gotta see what it looks like.
um it's just a regular Batman. He's just called Batman. He looks like regular Batman just standing there. But he is the new take of, if you're familiar with the thing that was called like Out of the Shadows Batman, it's basically a better version of that. So he just has an ability that says at the beginning of the turn, if he has no action tokens, you may place him up to 4 squares away from his current square. And then he's got Outwit, and when he uses it, he may instead target an opposing character that attacked since your last turn, regardless of range and line of fire. So, if there's an opposing character that attacked last turn, he can outwit him no matter what. And then he's just a flurry piece with 12 attack and 18 combat reflexes,
Hmm.
3 damage. So he's not insane, but he's just a piece that teleports up to you and then flurries you, and that's pretty
Oh,
much that.
he gets a free bat cycle, which gives him hypersonic speed. Well, you can't do hypersonic flurry. Eh.
True, you could pick the free charge click, I guess, right? Is there one that no, the bat, oh, he only gets the bat cycle, right?
Oh, he
That's
gets the
right. It's
motorcycle
the
too.
motorcycle. Is the motor but the motorcycle, he has to pay for that, right? Or no?
No, he gets it for free. Oh
Oh,
no, he does have to
motorcycle.
pay for it. Never mind. No, yeah, he has to pay for it.
Yeah, so at that point, maybe it's just again, here's another piece that Animal Man just fixes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Doesn't seem like something I would play, to be honest. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll leave that totally not underwhelming question. This would be the last question, and we'll just end the episode there. Yeah. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for talking about random crap for a while,
Yeah, love
and
chatting.
we'll see. We'll say fingers crossed that you don't earn any more nicknames. Does that sound
Tormentors
fair?
coming to a city near you.
All right. Goodbye.